is new again, walking with a permagrin, head so high. I'm back with you and all is right. Shaking on the apple tree, ticking off the honeybees, watch them fly. It's just like we never said goodbye.
Okay, so zombie hunt didn't go out so well. Thought I heard some around here earlier. Just trying to make sure that none of them were going to come on up and jump me. But hello everybody, it's NihonTiger. Welcome back to NihonTiger on NeoCraft episode 93. So I should probably show this off. So since last time, I have done a few things. I've made a few changes to the tower, and also I started to record an episode and I realized I had my wrong microphone on. I have my Blue Yeti and I have my headset mic, and it was attached to my headset mic and not picking up any sounds because apparently my computer decides every once in a while it wants to record off my headset mic even though I don't use it anymore. So I should probably disable that because it's of no use to me. Yeah, go me. But anyways, welcome back to the storage room. So as you can see, I've got some progress done from last time. I've got ladders on all four sides now, and I've changed the floor a little bit here. So the notch that was in the middle has been kind of moved back to just being this little notch here, kind of a step up. And I've put, just for a little bit of decoration, I've put this half slab here out of oak to make it look a little bit nicer. You can see I've got stairs are still there, and right now on with me are Puppet, Thorn, Dry, and Azuko, Fuchs's brother, who's been playing on here a little bit. So one of the other interesting changes with this, I almost kind of screwed up there, but when you want to go up, you actually have to press down. Yeah, you have to go backwards to actually get this to work right. Otherwise you kind of fall off. And it becomes really, really unwieldy and very hard to actually go ahead and get off. So if I do that, it works out just fine. But if I try to go like, back and then up, I can kind of, sometimes it works if you time it right, but half the time I end up floating off to my doom and falling down 4 levels. This is just generally easier for me to do it that way. But we're not going to be focusing on this too much today. I have a little bit more chest space to fill up here. Instead, I want to come up here and I want to focus on this. Now, this area right here, this area you see before you is going to be where our enchanting table and everything else is. And it's going to have a unique design to it. It's going to have a very interesting design, very different design than anything I've ever built before. And these guys right here are more than just markers. They're more than just markers for where the pillars are going to be. They're actually the base for the pillars that I'm going to be using to hold up the roof over the enchanting area. And the roof itself is not going to be too fancy. I'm working on trying to tweak and finalize the design on that. But it's a little bit in progress still. Obviously, so is the actual tower itself. If I can kind of lean off, you can see it's all stone brick right now. That's obviously not going to be the case. We're going to make it look a lot more like those towers out there. And you can see how nice they look. They look really nice from out here. I've gotten a few compliments from the guys on the server. They really like the design too. I'm digging it. It looks really great from far away. It looks really weathered and worn, and we're going to use the same design for here. And then this kind of lip is just decorative. I've used a little bit of stone steps and some stone fence and some wooden fence to kind of mix it up a little bit so it's not all stone. Hey, congrats, Azuko. Yay, he's got some iron now. That's good. But yes, I kind of have to, the whole block fatigue thing that I've mentioned in the past really was coming into effect here with having all of these be stone steps. So I decided to break it up a little bit, put a couple gaps here. You get some gaps, some open space to let you see through. And the background itself actually kind of helps break up some of the monotony that would otherwise be here. So small designs, just very small changes. And I was going to spend this episode kind of talking about something really cool, branding your channel, and some of my own personal pet peeves with branding and whatnot that people do that I really hate, both as a YouTuber and a YouTube fan of some people, and in general just someone who follows the media, because it's what I have to do at work. There's some general do's and don'ts that I wanted to share with you, but I didn't have time to write it all down because I have so many thoughts on this thing. I need to get some real notes. Oh, a little bit of damage there. I want to get some real notes going on that, and I didn't have time to do it before I had to do this episode for tomorrow. So I think my voice just kind of slipped it there a little bit. Sorry about that. But I didn't have enough time to do it ahead of tomorrow, so I just decided I'll do it at a later date, make it easier on myself. So that should be 16. That's exactly what I need. And right now we're kind of... I'll explain this in a minute as far as my building style and how dirt plays an important role in it in just a minute. So it'll all make sense here why I'm using dirt for the pillars instead of using cobble or using the material I'm actually going to build it with, which I don't have. That's why I'm not using it. But yeah, I actually don't have all the materials I'm going to build with yet. I have to get some more, and then we'll finish it off probably next episode. I think that's going to be the big project to finish that off, because I still need quartz, and I still need my roofing material, which is going to be something I haven't really used in many roofs. Oh, damn it. Really? On top? On top? That's got to be the first time I've ever done that in my life. But here we go. Get these temporary posts up. So the dirt. A lot of times I've mentioned building with dirt, and I'm sure I've talked about why I build with dirt, because it's easier to deconstruct, and it's easy to kind of move around and manipulate dirt. But the real reason that I build with dirt, I think more so than even just the ease at which I can manipulate it, is because it's so plentiful. There's just so much dirt out there that it's really easy to get enough dirt for your needs. And you don't have to spend forever messing things up and then going back and then redoing them and whatnot and etc. So building styles is a good thing to talk about, since we're kind of trying to make sure I got all the gaps right here. Since we've got everything. It's snowing. I hate the snow when I'm trying to build. But yeah, building style. Oh, snow off. Thank you, whoever turned it off. I think this is how I had it. And then like that. And this is like that. I'm pretty sure this is how I had it. It was a circle. I remember it being a circle because this whole thing is going to be a circle. I remember it's kind of like this. Oh, I might need to pause in a minute just to check and make sure I'm building this properly. But building styles it's very important, I think, just personally, that you kind of have a building style that's your own. And I've mentioned this before about how it's important to learn from other people, but you don't want to copy them. Did I just break something that... I think I just broke something that I wanted to not break. Yeah. That one goes back. That was actually supposed to be there. It's supposed to be a pillar dummy. That's maybe the one disadvantage with building with dirt is that you sometimes forget where you were going to build. I'm an idiot. So let's see. I think if I have this like so. I think this comes back across like this, but let me tell you a little bit. Specifically, I actually want to talk about this build that I've been doing, and kind of some of the ideas behind why I'm building a separate little tower for enchanting rather than just building, you know, an enchantery. Is that what we can call it? Enchant? Yeah, I like that word. Enchantery. That's what I'm going to refer to it as from now on, no matter what. This is my enchantery. Storage tower / enchantery. I don't care if I made the word up. I do it all the time. Don't see other people having a hissy fit because I'm making words up. But the idea behind having the storage tower be also where the enchantery is because when I built the original torch, that was my old, remember that from the NeoCraft server, which actually still exists, but you probably remember that build. That was my big storage area. That's where I put all my stuff at night, and it was nice. It was a nice build. I liked it. I liked the torch. But I didn't want to build another torch. I wanted to build something that would be slightly different, slightly smaller in scale, because one of the problems I've mentioned before having was I had too much stuff, or too much space and not enough stuff to fill that space. Just because of the way that I play the game, I tend to overbuild, and that was, I think, one of the things that I wanted to, in this version, kind of make sure I didn't do. So part of the reason that the enchantery is attached to the storage room goes back to that whole form versus function debates that we talked about last time. And for the storage room this time, I chose function over form, so that's why you've noticed it's a little more compact. It's a little bit different than, I think this is right. I think this is the right shape. I hope it's the right shape. Otherwise I'm screwed. I have to hop on down here. Somewhere safe. And oh, that's like right on top of cloud level. That's actually pretty cool. So the clouds are going to be like touching the top of the tower. It's going to be kissing the top of the tower. Aww. How romantic. Oh, okay, that was weird. I was about to say, did I not take any fall damage from that height? That would have been weird. So let's break this down. And obviously this is all going to be stuff that I'll deal with at a later date. Keep hearing spiders because I'm sure they're trying to climb up the tower and kill me. But guess what? My tower has a lip. It's anti-spider. Haha, suck it. See? There you go. Function wins again. Yeah. But yeah. So that brings me to talking about why I chose this style. Why I chose the enchantery here for the storage room. It's because it really gives me a reason to come back here. More than anything else. It gives me a reason to want to come back to this place and to have a reason to do so. Because most of the time, the only reason I was going to the torch, was because this seems wrong. I think it should be a little gap here, if I remember right. to be like this, I think. And then it's a pain in the butt trying to remember how you want to build things sometimes. Yeah, I think this is right now. I remember now that I had these here, and these were going to be kind of where you would come up to actually get up to the top of the tower. So yeah, this is correct. This is correct. Okay. Shut up, spiders. No one wants to hear you talk. But it says shut up. But yeah, the idea here is that I'm building something that I'm going to have multiple uses for, used more than once, that's what I'm trying to say. It's not going to be something that I decide, okay, I'm just going to build this, I'll store crap here, and, you know, not only will I store it here, but I'll also store it at my summer house, and I'll store it at my winter house. That's, you know, on the other side of the server, that, you know, is where I do my winter vacationing at, or whatnot, come up with some kind of creative way to do it. But I feel like that's... Oh my god, how the hell did you get in here? Ow. They came in to get me. Damn it. Damn it. Damn you! You can climb ladders now. Crap. I have to prepare. Prepare for the spider invasion. They're coming to kill me. But, yeah, I wanted to give myself a reason to come back here. And both with the torch... Oh, yes. Oh, that's beautiful. See, now you get the idea of what I'm doing here. That looks so awesome. And it's going to look so great when you get the patterning on here. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. It's going to look so awesome when it's done. That's exactly what I wanted it to look like. I wanted it to have that kind of... that look like it was kind of a smaller area within a larger area. Kind of very medieval-ish look. Or really, it's more Renaissance era, I think. I think it's kind of this weird combination of like Renaissance era meets classical Roman style, classical Greek style, meets kind of maybe medieval tower. I like it. I just like it a lot. That's all I gotta say about it. And obviously at some point here we're going to have to punch out the areas for the windows as well. That can be something we do later. Or right now, I don't care. Yeah, I'll do it right now. Why not? So, yeah, when you talk about overbuilding, and that's a thing I perhaps can talk about a little bit here, since it kind of ties into my whole Katzegard build, is even though it's going to be a larger build, it's going to be a build... Hey, Fuchs is on. Hey! I do this because I love people, and I love watching their responses to that. But, yeah, the idea behind Katzegard is it's going to be a large build, a large fortress build. A large fortress build. Oh my god, who destroyed my beautiful house? I think he's trolling us because I'm pretty sure he destroyed it himself. He's rebuilding it. If he isn't, then we have a problem on our hands. Yeah, so I still use stone shovels. I'm using these up. I had a bunch of them I made, so really at this point I'm just using them up. I might want to change this now that I think about it too. So, yeah, the idea behind Katzegard is that it's going to be kind of more of an all-inclusive, I have everything I need here, I don't need to ever go outside my walls again deal than the original fortress that I built was, which also coincidentally enough, was supposed to be a kind of an all-inclusive, all-in-one, I have everything I need, so I'm never going outside of my castle walls again build. But I feel like with that one, I feel like I failed, in part because I overbuilt. I built my main tower too big. I built too much space, and I said, okay, I'm going to fill this space with all kinds of wonderful things. And then when it came down to actually building them, the problem was I kind of said, well, I can build this out here, but when I said, for example, I could build my my sheep pens out here, except the problem was originally the sheep pens were supposed to be inside the tower, so I was taking things out of the tower that were originally supposed to go in. Oddly enough, most of my stuff, most of my basic, I guess you could call them utilities, various farms and grinders and whatnot, those were all supposed to be in the tower. So I built the tower. When I built the tower, I originally built it, the main tower, I originally built it 90 blocks high because I had thoughts that, what was I going to do? And went, oh, yes. Yes. That's what I wanted. Boop. That will be enough iron bars. Thank you. But when I originally built it, the thought process behind that was, okay, I'm going to build this great big tower and fill it with everything. And then as I started working on the fortress, I began to say, no, I need a dedicated structure for this. I need a dedicated structure for that. Now, no, I want to build this over here. And I want to put my food in this spot. And then I want to put cows on this top of this mountain. And over time, the great space that I had inside the fortress walls for all of my daily necessities kind of became wasted space. And I really grew to regret that. I think that was one of the things that, with the original fortress, that I actually really regret doing, was building just so much stuff and not having space, or building so much stuff and having so much empty space, the exact opposite of what I was going to say there. Excuse me. But just having so much empty space there that I was... Here, I'm going to move these, I think. I think ultimately those are going to go. But just having so much space that I was wasting, and I hated it. I really grew to hate going all the way up to my bedroom on top of the tower and having to pass through all of these empty rooms. So I kind of thought about it, and the more I thought about it, the more I realized that, next time I build one of these things, next time I'm dumb enough to do something like this, I'm gonna there we go. But I kind of thought to myself, okay, next time I do this, I'm not gonna waste all this space. And here I'm gonna... Do I have... I can just throw some of these birch planks slabs in there, burn them down. We just need to smelt these sand up anyways. Where is it? Here we go. Make some glass. But yeah, I kind of thought, I'm wasting so much space. Next time I do this, I'm not gonna waste all this space on things that I don't need, and I'll have more dedicated buildings for actually holding things, and each building will be unique, and I won't have everything kind of in one big cylinder. And because at that time I was kind of going through my phase of I'm going to build an all-in-one cylinder, and I'm going to have everything, and it'll be great. It'll be like the future. So let me actually kind of pillar up here. But yeah, I'm definitely not doing that this time. I definitely learned my lesson and changed the way I built to kind of reflect that. Now, this guy up here, this is going to be our first actual block that is not going to be replaced in this roof. There we go. So, I don't know why I said that 3 times, but that's the truth. That glass block up there is going to stay there when we take down all of this other dirt, because there's going to be not a beacon that goes up there. Though there's temptation I might want to build a beacon here in the future, and I can always do that. But I kind of wanted to have this nice little glass up here without it having rain and snow coming through. Plus the snow won't have to block that up in the future, so I kind of like that. I always have this little view of the night sky no matter what the weather. I like that a lot. So yeah, so the idea really with the tower and the smaller tower over there, well, smaller compared to what I had in my old server, like my old fortress on the older server. The tower goes up about another 70 blocks from there. It goes up to maybe like there, and that's, this is going to be enough space for me. I mean, I had all that space was that space. That was such a waste, and I decided after that I would adjust my build style, and I would make things that were functional but had some form to them, like this guy right over here. Can't really see it through the trees. I built this huge thing, and I can't even see it through the trees because I planted them like there like an idiot. But the sheep farm over there is actually, the space that I built it in is huge, but it uses all of that space. Everything, all the ground space in there, it's all taken up by pens. There's like no wasted space in there. And eventually, I kind of figured this out today. I figured out what I want to do. The main gate is going to be right here in this valley. And there's a path that's coming kind of from the train station, the Katzegard West from there. Fuchs is building it. He wanted to build it to my front door. So this will actually work out quite nice. But here's what's interesting about that. It's going to be a little bit like my old portcullis, in that the top here is also going to be a bridge so I can get across to the sheep pen without having to go all the way around. So it's going to have some nice form to it. It's going to look really nice, but it's going to have 2 functions. It's going to be a bridge and it's going to be a gate. So that's really the lesson I learned from my old first fortress build, was that everything should, oh god, it's a skeleton. Everything should have kind of form and function, but it needs to have more function than just form, because otherwise you're just building an empty space, and when you build an empty space, it looks nice. There's no doubt that when you build these grandiose giant things that it looks amazing, but we could go to, any server, any number of server, and see these great... Did I say any number of server? I probably should have said any number of servers. Yes. Me know English well. But you can go to any number of servers and take a look at these builds. And there's these gargantuan builds, beautiful builds on the outside, absolutely wonderful. And even on the good old NeoCraft, there were many great builds that people would do. And you'd step inside, and it would just be this empty space. This empty space was dead. It didn't feel like it was lived in. It didn't feel like it was being used. It felt a lot like, and I'll show this off in a minute if I can. I'm kind of walking over here anyways. Hey, Wiz is on. Hey, Wiz. But it kind of felt a lot like this, as in its current state. This is obviously going to be all filled in eventually. I have figured out how I want to do this. So I guess he's going by Ranger now. That goes by his NeoCraft name. Huh. I'll have to keep that in mind. I don't know if he's going by Wizard Ranger. Huh. I'll have to ask him. But you notice that you get a lot of builds in places, and it's like this. There's just these empty builds, and they don't feel lived in, and they feel like, you know, somebody built them. They feel dead and stale. They feel almost like ancient ruins. Like, you know, sometimes when you go to, for example, if you go to Rome, you go to, oh God, what's the name of the place? It's not the Forum. It's the, oh, I can't remember what the name of it is now, but it's a big place with a huge dome. And you go inside, and there's tourists there, but you get the feeling that it's I've never been there, but I've seen pictures of it. But you get the feeling just from the pictures and video that people have done that even if they're, you know, it's just, you know, even if there are people there, it's a dead place. There's just so much dead air, and it's awe-inspiring, but it doesn't really truly feel lived in. Like this was kind of some place that people got together and congregated, and I feel like that's a big problem with my builds. And that's something that I want to really kind of... Where's my shears? I have shears, right? I'll make some. Whatever. But that's something that I kind of want to alleviate the second time around, now that I've got a second chance to kind of rebuild my fortress the way I want to. So I'm going to have a lot more buildings that are just like this. I mean, I'm not going to have, you know, all these places be really tight and compact and filled with lots of detail, but I'll try and get as much detail as I can in there. And I should probably mention that on the NeoCraft server, I loved my fortress. But like I said, I had some issues where I kind of thought that it was empty a lot of the time, and I hated the empty space. And I always like to walk around the builds. I always like to take a look at other people's builds and get ideas and see what kind of crazy stuff they're working on. And a lot of times I did get that feeling in other places, like other people's builds. Kind of had that same feeling that I had with my own fortress. But there's one place that I always liked. I always liked it because I always felt that when I went there, it was just teeming with life and teeming with usefulness and teeming with function. And it had a great amount of form to it too, but the function was just so off the charts. And that was Artist Youth Harvester. His farm that he built for the community, and it had, you know, all the farms for trees and crops and, you know, enchanting table on the zombie grinder at some mob grinder actually at some point underneath the whole thing. And you go fishing there. You could just do everything in the game there. And I always loved that place because it was huge, but it felt like it had a reason to be huge. It didn't feel artificial. I think that's ultimately what I want to... Here's skeleton. See? He's on the roof. But that's ultimately, I think, what I want to do with here. I want this to feel alive. Oh, ow. I just coughed off camera and I think I pulled a muscle. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Well, I think that's probably my cue. Oh yeah, he's up there. Hi. I think that's my cue to probably end this episode. I've been talking too much. My body's... Oh, God. Oh, I block. Ow, 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 ow. No. Oh, okay. We're fine. But, I think I need to end this episode. I think my body's telling me, Nihon, shut up, you're rambling. But, as always, thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to try to have one more episode out by the end of the weekend, where we actually go through, once I get the resources I need to finish that off, and finish building our enchanting station, finish up inside here, maybe even try to get some of the detail work on the outside here done as well. I think that would be a good episode. It might be a a montage-ish episode of sorts where we do a bunch of cuts and whatnot, but we'll see. We'll see. So as always, good luck, good mining, have fun, and I'll see you next time here on NeoCraft. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Gotta eat. Gotta eat. Oh!